This is all about adventure. Weekend at Effy's is all about adventure. And sometimes that adventure makes your knee a big swollen mess and makes you sit down and reflect on yourself and see what comes out. And that's what we're going to do this weekend on Weekend at Effy's. I'm glad you're here. Weekendateffys.com if you want to help us with the Patreon, which you'll hear about on this episode. And weekendateffys.substack.com if you want to follow along and see the full beautiful multimedia newsletter. Is that the best way to describe it? Multimedia newsletter that has all the dates, all the upcoming events updated as soon as I update it to Peter after he asked me 3 times. Either way, this episode is free for you to hear. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Weekend at Effy's. Let's get started.
Did you know they put an alien on the Earth?
Oh, yeah. We did just watch Alien Earth. And thanks to the fine folks at Nowhere, because they're not paying us, I'm not going to tell you where or how to watch it unless you want to.
Yeah.
Is that rude of me? Go find it.
No, they're not
Alien
paying
Earth.
us.
Rules.
We didn't get any of that alien money.
I want alien money. Petár, can they not do, don't they need someone to wrestle the alien?
Probably. It seems like it's getting out of control.
Put that motherfucker in an armbar.
They got to get
Xenomorph
that alien
him.
off that Earth.
You got to learn how to do a Fujiwara armbar properly to handle the xenomorph. You see how its arms are very sharp, but also very brittle? Mm-hmm. Snap that motherfucker outside. You know what I mean? Because he's got them T-Rex things hanging there. That thing don't go to the side.
Our xenomorph just woke up.
Yeah, the xenomorph is alive. We've moved forward. I do want to say, I just want to start this weekend by saying I've come to terms with the fact that I am the father. We are co-parents of murderers. And to reflect that, I said, let's get weird with it. And so I tried to do a ritual with I tried to make up a ritual, which I thought I was powerful enough to do.
Yeah.
Wherein I forced everyone in the household, dogs, people, chickens included, to eat a bunch of eggs to bountify our harvest with more eggs. And I saw people online saying you shouldn't feed those chickens eggs. But if you know anything about chickens, let me tell you a secret. They're supposed to eat those eggs. They can eat those eggs. If you got too many eggs... If you have too many eggs, you give some to your neighbors, and then you eat the rest of them, and you say, bring on the bounty. You have to say that when you do it. I made a little video of it. I thought it was fun. More videos, though. The third of the summer series of vlogs, this one's another 20-minute vlog. There have been 2 more in July and June. I guess there's technically 4 because the other one was 2-parter. Just dropped on the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you're hearing this early. You also have access to the vlogs, which I think are I think if someone watched that who doesn't even know who I am, they'd be like, the guy's timing is unreal. So check that out. You'll also get access to seeing the pictures of our daughter murderers. You'll get to see, you can hear the dogs, but you'll get to see the dogs. We're talking paws and claws. You're also going to get a discount on merch, which I'm going to have to adjust that soon, Peter, because the people are getting plenty of discount. Because, wait. Hey, I swear to God, dude, I'm doing a thing here. Do you know how rent in this house gets paid?
They've been sleeping.
Through the whole mini-sode.
Business.
And now I think someone came to deliver mail. I'll be honest. I think that's what happened. If we're doing a Blue's Clues thing.
I don't know. They're such divas that lights, camera, action, they think it's go time.
Well, yeah, and they're visible in the video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Weekend at Effy's YouTube. Now, here's something we're going to do. I'm putting us to it on the spot here.
Keep talking, but I'm going to adjust your mic.
That's fine. Do I just keep talking? So the Weekend at Effy's YouTube, if you're not on there, if you're listening to this on, what do you call it? Like a podcast platform, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play is a thing.
Is Deezer still a thing?
No, and neither is, what's the other one that was Zune? Can't listen on Zune anymore. But you can find us on many podcast platforms. But I think, I need to do better about pushing it to the YouTube because the videos of us, incredible. I still have people and they're like, oh, is your co-host even a real person? Or is that your AI lover? Well, if you were watching on fucking YouTube, you would see this is a real person next to me, not a composite on a green screen of the concept of a friend I'd like to have.
Well, I don't know.
Let's increase the response rate to up 10%. I'm Westworlding you. Shout out pirating shit because that's the only way I've been able to rewatch
Shout out
Westworld.
mystery robos and TV shows.
What is that?
I love a TV show where it's
We don't know who's a robot.
We don't know who's a robot. That's
Alien Earth.
I think if you were to look at any genre that's been invented in like the past 30 years of storytelling, the who's a robot genre is a great genre.
And Alien Earth also has the what kind of robot are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Is this a baby cyborg? Is this a person cyborg? Is this an AI entity Borg? Is this Timothy Oliphant doing a baby Billy? There's a lot of questions up in the air.
He just keeps striking these poses where he's extending his full body back.
And the way he's putting the language out, it just seems robots are programmed a little bit more queer than the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, look at David, all that making out with himself.
Gay ass clankers. This is what's going to get us canceled in 6 years. The fact that I just called the gay robots gay ass clankers. We were talking about that on the minisode. If you hear the minisodes, they're a little more hectic, a little more wild, a little more cinema and film focused, media focused, getting our thoughts on things like that. But here's something I think we don't discuss enough. And there are only like 4 people that actually I'm on Letterboxd with that get access to my Letterboxd outside of Patreon people, but I swear them to secrecy. And I don't know if you're the same because I know we have some connections on there. I'm busting out some incredible reviews on here. And I just want to shout out another person who, if you are a film person on Letterboxd, to follow, Goodman W. He's my friend from college, but he's done a lot of writing with GQ and Men's Health and Complex. Very tall and cool, but also one of my OGs on film discussion. Goodman W., an incredible mind to follow on Letterboxd. Let him know Effy sent you. Shout out William Goodman. The guy rules.
And I'm going to say follow Drill on Letterboxd.
All right. Drill on DRIL. If you're not familiar with the Twitter media personality, check that out. But first and foremost, and I'll say it again at the top of the show in the intro, weekendateffys.com. Sign up for the Patreon. I would rather you sign up for the Patreon as a free member and get nothing and just so I can see who's out there and who wants us. And maybe one day you'll be able to upgrade and you can get the early episodes directly to your podcast feeds because the RSS feed updates to you as a member in your preferred app. But also, I just want to see who's out there. I want this content to get to people. I also want us to be able to continue making the highest level of content and affording the video equipment and having, food to feed our dogs and chickens. And so all Patreon members, you're beautiful and wonderful. And now we're going to open the floor to Patreon member questions from weekendateffys.com. Incredible segue. I gotta say it.
Okay, the last week was a chaos episode. I really do feel that you were just yabba dabba doing, Fred Flintstoning, pedaling the car with your actual feet, and one of them is not necessarily working. So we do have 2 leftover questions from last week that we didn't get to.
Well, I want to say this first. The fact that I think about it all the time. We're like, there's a lot of long running podcasts. There's not a podcast where every week Johnny Quest comes back in after an adventure and is like, here's what happened. And this week especially, I think it's going to be a very interesting episode. Some of our most interesting episodes are after a period of rest, which I've had this weekend, which has been so lovely to rest and be at home. But the fact that with my schedule going on, with what's happening, that you get the live, here he is in person, his leg might be fucked, we really don't know yet, hear my thoughts in this exact moment podcast, I think is just really fascinating. And maybe that's just me, but I think people will look back and be like, I can't believe we have a record of every week of what Effy was going through, coming back and speaking to the most trusted confidant about this. And people could just ask him things as he was on this run. I'm like if Bruno Sammartino sucked a little dick at the bathhouse and then had a press conference of his matches that was live to your home every week, except for I'm good at wrestling. So take that, Bruno Sammartino.
Okay, this question is from Machete Von Kill.
Hell yeah.
First and foremost, how is the knee, Effy?
Here's what I'll say. I have a weird pain tolerance. We were having a pain discussion yesterday about how everybody's pain is kind of the same, but you don't really want to hear people complaining about their pain. But also I have it to a level that now I'm as an adult concerned where I go, I don't think this is that bad. And people are like, no, I think that's pretty bad. As I have rested on it and tested it. It very much seems like a contusion. I didn't want to make a scene out of it. There's a lot of other more serious, pressing issues in the world, even in the world of wrestling. Like, I don't want to come out and be like, oh, I don't know if my knee's going to be good. And people are like, oh, I have to support him because of that. Because, like, Colby Carino just had emergency neck surgery. Jeff Cannonball, we're raising money for I think it's ALS. Is it ALS? I don't know. It's a terrible disease. But I'm going to be working the shout out Joey Janela for putting it together. The September 14th tribute show for Jeff Cannonball. It's not a tribute. Well, it's like a tribute charity show. He's alive. He's going to be there. He's hanging out, but trying to raise some money for that. So I'm very excited. And they haven't announced my match yet. And I'm going to say this. It's a match that's happened. People have no clue it happened. And it's going to be so interesting at both of these stages in our career to see these two guys go at it.
Okay.
It's insane. It's a hardcore dream match, and it makes sense with who I've been wrestling this year. And I hope it comes through. I don't want to go into more detail. I'll give a more detailed view of how I view the importance of this match when it's announced. But it really makes sense with what kind of year I've had. If I look at it in an overview of, like, I'll say this: most of my opponents have been above the age of 50. Most of my prominent opponents this year, especially, have been over the age of 50, and they've been some of the best matches I've ever had. So I just want to say, if you're a young wrestler, there's always people who are like, can you do this after 30, 40, 50? Yeah, you just got to be good enough at it to be able to do it at that age, interestingly, and people want to see it still. Okay.
Interesting.
So my knee it's going to be fine. I am going to be at the gathering, probably before you hear this, if you're not a Patreon member, and we're going to give it a go.
We're going to give it a go. What's the coolest thing you saw, did, or ate in Japan?
Well, we had this discussion where I brought it up, right? Like, I think I caused the curse of the chicken murder by eating raw chicken. But I got to be honest, me and Dark Sheik went out for a meal where we both were like, let's go get conveyor belt sushi, which, like, because of the pandemic has turned into the coolest version of it, which is just get what you want on a screen and it comes right to you. And the line for that, though, is going to be like 2 hours. And we had to go wrestle that night. We were like, I don't know if we can do this. So next door to it in Shibuya, in this building, was the Oyster House that we went to. And we both ordered these plates that I showed you the picture of the fishbowl last night. So we ordered fresh oysters to the table, which were just, the cleanest tasting oysters I've ever had. 6 different varieties of oyster from all over the Asian and Japanese region, local to those cold waters up there. People don't realize that it's kind of north up there, The cold waters give us really good seafood. That mound of fish was probably the greatest meal I've ever had of just raw energy seafood. And they served it for $1 more, folks. You can get the fish head soup over the miso soup. I've never had fish head soup like that. It was incredible. Magic. So I would say that is the best thing I ate over in Japan.
And lastly, how freaking awesome was Clussy as ring person at the JCW Powder Keg?
So badass. So good to see. I was peeped up in my leg, fucked up in the back, but I did catch a little bit of a glimpse of this. I think it's very cool that some people would be like, oh, ring girls, that's like a thing of the past. Like, oh, hot ring people bringing out the signs. But to me, it makes it feel like a classic event. And the girls that are doing this are like, they're wanting to do it. They want to be on the show. Nobody's being forced to be a hot juggalo ring girl. And so seeing Clussy up there, they killed it. They looked phenomenal. And like, they were already in clown get up. So like, let's rock. I'm so fascinated by the concept of all clowns right now that like, I just think I have to keep studying. If you go to the Amazon wish list I put up, there's a bunch of stuff I took off there, but I kept the egg book of clown faces. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So if you're a clown, the only way to initially send in your clown makeup to be trademarked.
You're talking about the trademark clown makeup? Yeah.
So it's a full book of the pictures of the eggs painted with every specific clown makeup that's been tratrademarked under the United States. So there's just like...
That's incredible.
And it's eggs and it's clowns and it's like everything's kind of coming together for me being an egg clown, and I'm very excited to see, but like I love that a very different type of clown than a juggalo, like a Clussy, can come and they can also fill the role of being hot juggalo ring person on the Juggalo show. I love it. I'm so fascinated to go to the gathering. The episode next week is going to be out of control, and I've not even been yet.
I can't wait.
Just from conversations I've had with people, we're gonna take it. We're soaking it all in, Peter. I'm not gonna feel well when I come home Sunday. I'm doing 2 days at the gathering where I'm wrestling at 1 to 2 to 3 a.m. and then I'm going straight to Toronto to wrestle Sam Hardaway, WWE ID talent, in a tournament matchup. And I have to go find my championship at the gathering.
It's raining.
It's pouring.
It's pouring.
The dogs are finally snoring.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions?
If a stork brings babies, what bird prevents them?
What?
Swallows.
I was thinking of real birds. You got me.
Okay.
You got me.
Who is a better kisser, Jun Kasai or Abdullah Kobayashi?
Okay, so the Jun Kasai kiss was electric because I didn't expect it. Literally, the conversation that was had with me before the match was, there's another segment going on. Jun doesn't want to be rude, but make sure when you finish the match, you leave the ring. Unless he says otherwise. This was told to me by like referees and agents and producers on the show that know him. Just like, don't take offense to it. Like, what an honor. But he has other things going on here, storyline wise, that we have to get to. Just exit the ring. And he kept me there and he did it. And I finally got a copy of that magazine, like I said, that's sitting over there that has us kissing with the Inoki cover. But here's what I have to say. Abdullah Kobayashi, did you see the clip of him kissing Brett?
No.
Okay. So after the match, he kisses me. I get my belt. I leave. Manders did commentary, which rules, because he was like, well, you did commentary on my match. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like him and Higuchi at Tokyo Shinjuku face. And then me and Kobayashi with Manders on commentary. The swap of just like, here's the difference with like, side note, if you're really about this shit, I don't care if you've been asked to do it or not do it. When you see an opportunity to do cool commentary, to make your friends' matches even better, go fucking do it. That's awesome. So he's at commentary. Abdullah Kobayashi kisses me. I love this shit. Big Papa giving kisses. And especially like, it was like a thank you for the coverage, you know? He went and kissed Brett. And for like 2 minutes, he's covered in blood and he's trying to get to Brett. I don't notice it because I'm in the back. So I'm just kind of like peeking through the curtain. And then and Manders is not helping. And Manders goes, I think I'm going to get fired. Because then Kobayashi says, okay, never mind. Just do a handshake. And then pulls Brett across the table and kisses him with the blood all over him. And Brett was so mad, genuinely, that this dude just like not only kissed him covered in blood, but it's on camera. And the guy you employ next to you is not helping. Your champion who you employ is not helping. And you're getting kissed by Kobayashi. He will forever be GOAT mode. There's a 2-second clip in there after the nightclub. It's like nightclub scene in the vlog. And then the next scene is Kobayashi. And it's just him in the thong after the match covered in blood. And I go, what? No pants? And he just like shrugs. So check that out. He's the best kisser because he kissed Brett Lauderdale against his will. You should never kiss anyone against their will. Abdullah Kobayashi, when you book him on your show to lose to Effy, he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a fucking legend. And honestly, I think you'll look back on that in a few years, Brett, and you'll be honored that you got to be a part of it.
It's so fun.
He's been dealing with Kobayashi since he was a referee at CZW, which makes it even funnier. There's like a 10-year history with them. So, like, shout out Abdullah Kobayashi forever, the coolest.
Ooh, okay. All right, thank you, Danny, for that last one. This one's from Rob. What is the coolest or most helpful thing that you bought this year?
Oh, this is a very interesting question. Mm-hmm. I love this. I am going to say this is a cop-out, and I feel like I have to think of a second answer. Chickens.
Chickens?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
For the rush of doing it, and like, I'm not saying I'm a different person now, but I have learned so much.
Yeah.
Allowing birds to be members of our household. Mm-hmm. And it is stressful and it is hard and it is rough.
And rewarding.
And so rewarding and so magic. And when they run up and peck my toes, I love that shit. Yeah. I don't care. I love that shit. And today I was looking out the window and I had to stop Bebop from going out the other night. I let Lucy go because she doesn't care about rabbits, but I wouldn't let Bebop go out because there was a rabbit and I was like, I'm going to give it a chance to get away.
Right.
The rabbits are fine. The squirrels, the chickens do not like the squirrels. And I'm like, maybe we can get them to team up with Bebop. He doesn't like them either. That's why he wakes me up every morning screaming at squirrels on the fence. You can put the window shade down. He sticks his head under it, which makes even more noise. It's incredible. I look out the back window this morning. 2 of the chickens are just bum rushing a squirrel and pecking it out of their fucking house. And it was awesome. Wow. So... yeah, we own murderous velociraptors. It's the coolest thing. But the second coolest thing, I don't know. What have I bought? I bought those Carlos Santana headphones, which were so bad, and you showed pity on me that you handed over your pair of Sonos headphones, and those have been really nice. Was it that sad to see me in the Carlos Santana Ross $9.99 noise canceling headphones?
Well, it just doesn't make it. You travel so much, and you're not a raw dogger, as it were. Or,
no,
I mean, you can, but it's
I can, but I would prefer not.
You're on the road.
I'm gonna
so much,
buy a
why would
$60
you?
pair of headphones before a 5-hour flight if I don't have them.
Right.
Sorry. Like that's financially, fiscally irresponsible. I'm not doing it. Because then I hear people who are like, I can't believe these babies. And I'm like, I can't believe you don't have fucking noise canceling headphones on a plane.
And those things are so comfortable. The noise cancellation works so well. They sound great.
I just think of how less I'm triggered all day if I don't. I'm not trying to be rude to anyone. And that's why I'm not listening to you. Because I typically have something to say. And so if I can silence the world around me, I have a lot less that I could get involved with because I feel like I got to say something. So I don't know. Those are fantastic. They're great. Thank you, Peter.
Of course.
I didn't buy them. You worked very hard for those. You did.
Yeah, I guess.
You had to walk up to that store.
I had to walk up to that store.
That's
and
enough.
Hang out and do,
It's crazy. The concept of labor.
Oof. Okay. What do you call an anxious dinosaur?
Terrified.
A nervous Rex.
Okay, so that's I like that. Thank you for making me giggle. It really is raining.
It's really coming
Holy
down
shit.
out there.
Do you think it's because of the egg curse or the egg blessing?
Maybe. I don't know. Okay. I love ham, but it's a shame when folks put an S in front and an E at the end.
Shame? Oh. I heard the word and then it still made me, I had to do the math.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Heather.
All right. Yeah, keep bringing them. Keep giggling me out. I need giggle energy. We have done the impossible this weekend, which is keep me from using my fucking leg.
I don't know if that's true.
We have used it. It's very tight. I think I'm going to have to. I was threatening online. I said, if y'all aren't nice online last night, I said, I'll live stream the draining. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to have to go in there. And I think it's going to help loosen the skin up of my knee.
Yeah.
I don't take enough time off. And I think this has been a beautiful resting period. Getting to spend that much time with all 3 dogs. We had Cranberry over here. Mm-hmm. She's been just such a marvelous little blessing. She's moody as fuck. She will yank you down the street. She runs around. If she doesn't get what she wants, she's going to tell you. We also had to, you helped tremendously in trimming her nails down as much as we could, but to see the tenacity of this 12-year-old girl who can't use her legs go fucking ballistic on us. I mean, at first I was like, just bite me, it's fine. Thinking like, oh, the senior dog isn't going to. No, she was fucking snapping. Pardon my French here, but like she was intense. I got a few pictures of her and I put them up that I was like, she's such an angel, but do not trim her nails. And it was just her. I was like, crazy. Yeah. So if everybody's asking, the problem is I bring her out, like I brought her out to shit and I don't put her on her leash really because I feel like I can keep up with her.
Yeah.
But that's hubris of me because do I need hubris? Because I'm out there limping, trying to catch the dog. And then other people are walking their dogs and she's running up. And my favorite quote though, like most of the time people are just like, oh, your dog is, oh, I feel so bad for her. And I'm like, don't feel bad for her. She's fine. But they'll go, is she friendly? And I go, dude, if she's not, I think you can get away. I don't think you're going to be stuck. If she snaps at you, she's in a wheelchair. I think you can back up pretty quick. But I love the concept that, like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm letting her, I know she's a bad girl and she's been biting people, and I have to put her in the chair so she's able to do it. And I'm letting her out to let her free and go crazy. She is hard to keep up with, especially with a bum ass knee. She has not been the easiest to keep up with. And it is so marvelous to me. She's been there since before I was like I was Effy, but I wasn't Effy.
Right.
You know, like I was going to work at 7 a.m. 6 days a week and coming home to that little angel and taking her to the office. She used to sit in the office all day, lay in the sun. And the same thing, it was even funny then. People would come in and we had to have her tail removed pretty early because she just like was so excited all the time that it continued to scab and scab and scab and scab. And so she's still like, when someone walks into the room, this is probably why she can't use her legs, because she would just wiggle and shake so much when she would see people because she was so excited. Like, I think she was so happy she paralyzed herself. You know?
I think you might, because she would always, it was just full body
wiggle all the time.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I don't know, seeing her have that much energy,
I know
just
you told
up front.
the full story, but the reason that she no longer had a tail was because she kept banging into a wall.
Right, because she was so happy. It's called happy tail.
Yeah. And they basically would, the vet told you it would just never heal because of...
She's just going to keep hitting it. We would have it bandaged and rubbed and done, and it
Yeah.
was like, but honestly, right, she's, you know, yeah, she may have paralyzed herself via being so happy all the time.
funny.
Be careful raising your kids. If they're too happy, they could end up in a wheelchair. But it's just seeing her. And here's the thing too. We moved the dogs to the different food. I know this is going to be a very interesting episode. I have a lot of things to say about things that don't have to do with wrestling. We changed the dog's food, and I noticed it when I came back from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The coats were healthier. Mm-hmm. There's an energy. I don't know. Bebop looks more majestic. And I put cranberry on this food as well. It's one of the few dry kibbles that she'll just eat raw. Yeah. Like, you have to put a little wet food with her, which I think is good. You know, it keeps the poops moving if it's a little wet. Give her some pumpkin. We'll handle the farts. They were bad.
Well, we're going to talk about pumpkin in a minute.
Yeah? No more pumpkin?
No. I mean, the pumpkin was good. It's just, it was like...
efficient.
Living in a fucking frat house for a week.
All the dogs were farting pumpkin.
Oh, my God. And just the most human-like... farts. Just the smells were just...
It's like the sweetness of the pumpkin really was ruinous. Giving her now this food that has made these youthful dogs kind of like more efficient, I think she's going to be even rowdier.
Yeah.
And the problem we're running into is when she's over at the other home, she has the attitude of, well, I don't like it as much right here because I don't have my friends and I don't have all these rugs. So I'm going to shit on your floor.
Oh, no. The problem is, so I have to assume that she's not going to be on the Gentle Giants when she's over.
No, she is. We've moved her completely to the Gentle Giants.
Say otherwise, this is a recipe for having
no.
For her to have diarrhea every time she goes back to his house.
So that's what I want to bring up is this food, because I've been researching it. And if you see this food at the dog store, and this is the thing, if you put up anything about the Gentle Giants food, it'll probably be people arguing under it. Because the problem is, it's created by the former actor for the 60s Batman and Robin show, like the OG. He now makes dog food. But allegedly, there's issues with them basically running a puppy mill that is funded by people buying this food. I'm just being honest here. But here's the problem. Everybody's like, the food is so good. But also the graphic design, it's the one you see where you go like, oh, they fucked up. I wanted to try it and say like, all right, well, look, this looks full conspiracy theory and it's probably shit, but let's see. I've noticed dramatically a difference in these dogs already. And I know it's only been like 2 weeks. I want to keep seeing how it changes. All I can say is don't support puppy mills and don't buy puppies from them. But also, if the food is good, I am selfish enough and narcissistic enough to just let my dogs be better and just hope that you as a consumer aren't going to support a puppy mill. But my dog's looking real good right now. And they say that, you know, it can expand the lifespan. And I was really thinking, and I hope all the dogs, having a pit bull that's already 12 years old, I think is incredible. And she doesn't really show any signs of, besides not having the use of her legs, like she's senior. She's clearly senior. I think she doesn't see as well. She can hear just fine because I know when she's listening or not. But giving her a little more spark at the end of life, I think, is a really good way to keep things going. The Bebop problem is they've told me 20 to 25 years with this particular hybrid of dog, this particular type of mutt. And so if I can expand that even longer, I'm thinking about, I'm 50 years old and maybe Bebop's in a wheelchair too, but he's still just like hanging out.
Yeah.
And if I can get a food that does that, I'm not a believer in like miracle science or whatever, but it does seem like I walked in the house and was like, they feel softer. I know what my dog feels like. They're more pulley. They're stronger.
It's the thing that I keep noticing is I will start petting Lucy just like I normally would. And like I would stop.
Right.
She's so soft that I find myself just kind of stimming out petting this dog because she's so soft.
It's crazy. And then like, knock on wood, she has had some issues with licking her feet or having skin allergies because of her toe. It's really cleared up. Mm-hmm. And we've tried a lot of things to help her because she's a white puppy dog with sensitive skin, and I get it. And she's licking, but she's not licking that in a way that's, I don't know. It feels very like we're in the right direction.
Yeah. Because it's definitely some kind of like allergen thing. And from everything that I can tell, it has a lot to do with like just dog food kibble generally being shit.
Yeah, so if they're trying their best, it's better than probably what the other companies are trying.
It's so funny. I love the packaging so much.
There's at least 30 fonts, and they straight up steal the Disney font.
They straight up steal the Disney font. They throw a Batman and a Warner Brothers logo on there just to say like, "What's up?"
Yeah, everybody. And then Target's like, "It's fine."
There's a dog. There's this old greyhound looking like whippet dog, and it says 27 and a half years old. Is this the world's oldest dog? Question mark.
We could verify it, but we're just going to put the question here to go like, I don't know.
So
I don't know. Well, the controversy with that is that dog existed longer than the food has been around.
Right.
But I think it's still if you've only been feeding this dog this food for 10 years and it's already in its teens and it's still living, it's a pretty good thing. But also like we can look up what the world's oldest dog is. But also I'm pretty sure the whole thing about world's oldest people, I think everybody just lies. Have you ever talked to somebody who's over 100 years old?
No.
Yeah. I don't believe them. I think they believe them. I don't even think they'll be like, we can't find the birth certificate, but she was probably born then and she's 117, and you're
my grandma went out in her like mid 90s, I think, but that was doctor told her to quit smoking and she died 2 weeks later.
Yeah, you got to keep up appearances.
Yeah, she needed those cigarettes.
I've been trying to, I'm not gonna, my great grandmother lived to be like 102 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother now lives with my mom. Shout out Mama. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, my mom works very hard to upkeep the household, to make sure she's taken care of. And my grandmother did the same thing for her great grandmother. And my mother doesn't have a daughter, but she does have a little gay boy with dogs and chickens. I'm actually pumped for my mom to move in when it's time. I think it's going to be sick. I think we're going to have fun. We both adventure. I'll probably end up making more money because she'll be like, I'm retired and can come help you.
Right.
And I'll be like efficient. I'll require in the rider that mom gets to come if it's a cool location. Like I think it's the right move. I think it's awesome. And it gives me hope that I felt really bad because this weekend I was supposed to go see my mom. I was supposed to go see mom and grandma, but I really couldn't drive a car 2 hours with my bum leg, and I needed to lay it up, and it was understandable. And Mama still need to give you a call. What's up? But it gave me some solace. Now we don't know anything about time, and tragedies can always occur. But my grandmother is a woman who has survived colon cancer, and that was when she was in her 50s, I think, and is now, she's in her 80s now. Deep in her 80s, and is living and doing. And I went well, wait a second, Grandy lived to be 102, 103. I think I got if I move it to September and go at the beginning of the month or something, I think I'll be okay. It kind of made me excited in that way that the women in that side of the family, shout out the Oaks branch of the family, they are able to be living. They are living. And I don't think I'm going to lose them soon, but you know what? I want to treasure every moment. Treasure every moment. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Peter, what are the difficulties of having me home that long?
More so just getting you to like chill out.
Yeah, I can't do that. I got to be doing something. I feel like I always got to be doing something. What's up with that? What's up with that?
Yeah. It's I don't know. It was really funny the planetary timing of all of this, and then just a built-in end of Mercury retrograde to make you chill out. So I definitely think you chilled out more than you would have.
My body's working against me in that way, where I can't just like actually rest. So it's the same thing of when I'll get sick or something, where my body's like, shut it all the way down.
Also, like I wanted to make you go to the movie theater more than once, so you would have concentrated break time. That you could sit in a seat that didn't have dogs that are magnetically attracted to your leg.
Because they can smell the liquid in my knee.
Yeah.
They want to get the juice out of my knee. And so they kept jumping on my leg.
Oh, my God.
And it is like the kind of pain where you're like, it tears up, not because you're sad, but because like your body doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that every time. And I got to say, shout out Crowbar, I did fall on that dive, but he's checked in with me like every day to see how the knee's doing. And I've just been like super honest. And also, it's not looking good for the gay marriage at this point. And my healthcare is in flux. And I got to say, yeah, we probably should go get it like MRI'd or whatever. Isn't that what they do? MRI?
Yeah, X-ray, MRI, sure, whatever.
Let me just be clear. The American healthcare system is broken, and I refuse to support it. And as long as this knee is working, I'm just going to go drain it in the bathroom, and we're going to have a good time. And I'm going to fight some juggalos. I hope. I was talking with, I can reveal it now because he was a surprise, but Marcus Mathers, he did a run-in. Brett was like, can you come beat him up on Tuesday? And I was like, nah, I don't know if my leg's going to work by then. So he said, no worries. I got somebody else. Marcus Mathers was like, yo, should I not cut a mean promo in front of all the juggalos? Like the gathering, pre-gathering, at the gathering had wrestling last night, and Marcus Mathers invaded for the main event with Willie Mack. And he was like, should I not? Are they going to kill me? And I was like, no, like worst case, they'll throw some bottles at you maybe of Faygo because you're being a punk ass. But I don't think they'll kill you. But I am going to be like wandering the grounds. And I have said some pretty derogatory things in storyline, I hope. Now I'm trying to backpedal because I'm just going to be like in a forest of juggalos without police presence. And then what if they get me? What if they force me to put the 2-liter of juggalo soda Faygo up my ass? I went to the owner of Psychopathic Records. Like I went and I was like, yo, here's a shirt we should print. This guy is like him and Joe own everything together, Violet J, but like he's like the El Presidente businessman who you like just like let him do his job. He's good, but he doesn't need to hear from you. But I went and pitched him my shirt. I said, here's the idea. Faygo font, gay faux Faygo. And he just like chuckled very slightly, but said, don't do that. And so I'm not going to do that. But I wanted it to be gay faux Faygo because it's only switching 2 letters, right? Theoretically, gay faux Faygo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not going to print those, but maybe we should just fucking do it under the table. I don't know. It could be something. They're still going to have an electrified barbed wire match.
Oh, God.
Do you hear those words put together?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in the electrified barbed wire match.
I would surely hope not.
Yeah, I haven't been informed of that. I have been informed of other matches I'm in at the gathering. But we have to make sure I'm going to do this old school because I'm thinking to myself, all right, not that I can't use my leg, but let me limit the use of my leg. What could I do instead?
A pirate character.
Well, they had a sick pirate character one time in WWE, and he used to swing down from a pirate rope to get to the ring. He would come off the side of the platform. Paul Burchill and Katie Burchill, the pirates. and he would swing down on his pirate rope. Listen, I would have put the guy main eventing WrestleMania. You're telling me Pirates of the Caribbean 3 is about to come out, all right? We don't know. Johnny Depp's kind of a fucking loser yet. And this guy's looking like Jack Sparrow swinging down in the arena. I don't even care how it looks on TV. How do you not get hyped for that? You're in the arena. That's a circus act. On top of now he's going to wrestle as a pirate. Sometimes I wonder who they hire at these places to handle the marketing and business decisions, because it's dumb decision after another sometimes. I'm honored to be an independent wrestler in these trying times where everybody seems to just be kind of fucking up. And the fans have to make a choice now of like, well, do we support the guy in the rape lawsuit who's now back at WWE, or do we move away from this product and find the other wrestling? And a lot of them just go, yeah, it's fine. That's kind of the period we're in, and I don't think it's that fine. I think I'd wait for the law. I'm not saying, it's like, what do they say? Innocent until proven guilty or whatever, which usually once I find out enough information, you can make a determination. But I'm saying while the thing's still active, pretty bold move. Also pretty bold move to continue to bring back people who are older than the majority of your starting roster to be the main event attraction, because you haven't really done a job of creating anyone else that matters who isn't over 40 and hasn't been doing this for 20 years. Isn't that crazy? That's the thing too. People are like, how long can you wrestle? And I go, well, I'm looking at a whole group of 40 to 50 year olds who are the most paid pro wrestlers in the world. And so if you think it's old at 35, you're wrong. Listen, they brought Daniel Bryan and Edge back through magic neck surgery and stem cell treatment. Listen, if you're good enough at it, they'll just keep Frankensteining your ass to come back and do it again. So I'm not worried. The only thing I'm worried about is the healthcare system stopping me here in America. That'll be what does it. But if y'all think I'm not going to be just as funny getting wheeled out in the chair to sign pictures of my face at some kind of con, I guess I got to make sure I keep getting slighted on con appearances because I think I'm too rowdy. But I just want to say this to all the cowards out there. No one in pro wrestling has ever drawn money in any capacity. And y'all can all say I'm indie, but I've been drawing money and tickets in wrestling for a long time, who has listened to and followed the rules, right? I don't like Hulk Hogan. We've had this discussion, but that motherfucker did whatever he wanted. And when it made money, he said, y'all don't fuck with me. Stone Cold, that guy was breaking all the rules. There's some other rules he broke that were laws, and we don't know the story, but shout out Deborah. And you're seeing punks who go against the grain. Even John Cena was like a punk ass rapper character who's going against the grain.
What?
You don't oh gosh. That's
what
how
are you talking about?
Why do you think John Cena wears jorts and sneakers? He was like full on a heel rapper character.
Wrestling is corny sometimes.
He has a full album and it's pretty good. He sang his own theme song. You don't remember? And he had the spinner belt.
I never questioned it.
He had the bling bling spinner belt in 2006.
Because there's just so much stuff where I go, I don't get whatever this is. I'm not going to question.
Oh, there's lore. This is the problem with wrestling too.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Has everyone ever gotten shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So there was a Jeff Jarrett match where a little person pulled a gun on Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
But then there was also I'm pretty sure somebody got shot.
I was thinking about the pirate, and then thinking about what if the pirate character did a run for a while because he just pulled a musket out and shot somebody.
Well, they did
no one else has guns.
Yeah.
And this is how you introduce technology into.
Part of me wants to pitch the worst storyline I've ever created in wrestling to you in a second. The gun thing, I think the closest would be Brian Pillman when they went to his house and he pulled a gun when they were filming the promos between him and Austin, and he went crazy. Pillman has a gun. That was back in the day. And then Tommy Dreamer one time said he was going to go out at WrestleMania and shoot himself as the main event, but he didn't do that. So that got pushed to the side. Shout out Tommy Dreamer. Don't do that to yourself. We love you. Here's my story. This is my storyline. So you know who Randy Orton is?
I know the name.
Okay. But you can picture him. Big tan. He was in 12 rounds too.
Which a movie
Can you just
we
look up
have
a picture of
not-
Randy
yes,
Orton? Because he's the
yes.
prototypical what you would look if you think of what a pro wrestler looks like generically. It's him,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Randy
yeah.
Orton.
I don't know if I've seen him before though.
All right, that's crazy. He's one of the most legendary pro wrestlers of all time. This is me reminding myself I'm a niche of a niche of a niche. And shout out Randy Orton. So here's the story with Randy Orton long ago, and he's been very apologetic about it. And I'm about to present to you the most insane wrestling storyline. People will fantasy book around me, and this is a result of people constantly booking stuff that isn't going to happen, and I just get tired. And so here's the story I made up. Randy Orton famously shit in someone's ring bag early in his career. Like took a fat shit in one of the girls' like gear bags. And he's since apologized, and he was a different person, and he was suspended, and things are wrong, but it's a real thing that happened, okay? And here's my presentation of a story. This would have to go meta, and we'd have to do it at a different place, but here's the pitch. You have somebody who's having a squash match with a jobber, right? Like a regular, it's the type of match where they would do 2 or 3 moves to highlight how good they are. It doesn't matter who they're wrestling. This is to highlight the person winning who is under contract. You have someone go out there to just lose, right? So the person out there losing, they're about to finish the match. All of a sudden, Randy Orton comes out, no entrance music, and he's pissed. And he gets in the ring and he pushes the real wrestler out of the way, and he just starts beating the shit out of this jobber, just beats his ass to the point where like they're like, oh my God, we have to take him to a medical center. Okay. And so far in my head, this part is real. Like you have to have him do this because the reason Randy Orton came out there is because this jobber said, I'm getting him back, and was backstage and shit in Randy's bag as revenge for a woman he didn't know. So he was like trying to white knight this woman years later by shitting in Randy's bag. And Randy, you know, realizing he was apologetic and realizing he's done better and realizing he was wrong, he's mad that you did the same thing to him, but he can't be that mad. And now he feels pretty bad because he put this guy in a coma, right? So then it turns out they do some research and they find out, wait a second, this guy wasn't even supposed to be at the show. We don't even know who this jobber is. He just like snuck in and figured out a way to seem normal. And he was actually here because his dream was to have Randy Orton kill him live on television. And so by only putting him in the coma, he now is recovered from the coma and he's back to get revenge on Randy Orton because he says, Randy, I came here to leave my legacy. So they have to make it real in storyline. And I wanted you to kill me on TV, and I'm going to make sure it happens. I shit in your bag because I knew you would freak out. And now I want you to do it, and I won't stop until you kill me for real. And Randy's like, I don't want to do this, but this guy keeps fucking with me. So Randy, at this point in the story, he's like, I don't want to be a part of it. They keep getting security. But it turns out the guy's like kind of like the Riddler or the Joker. Like he's a genius secretly, and his evil plan is to get killed, which is a pretty dumb plan. But then at the end, Randy, he has to decide if he does the right thing. Does he kill this guy and validate the reaction for shitting in someone's bag? Or does he show mercy and let him live and have to live out the rest of his life cursed by this man trying to get Randy to kill him?
What do you call it?
What do you mean, what do you call it?
What do you call the movie?
It's not a movie. This is a 4-month storyline on live TV.
Oh.
We're letting this play out live, and we're going to get the news involved. It's like a new Kaufman. So I got to figure out how to be a jobber on WWE, and then we can set it forth. That's the beauty of wrestling is like, yes, it's presented in a story form of film, but also I'm just saying like week after week, we'll just throw in live television together. How long did it take to shoot? I don't know. We got 4 weeks to fill here. We got segment 5. I need 12 bits to fill segment 5 over the next 2 months. And that's how they record their movies. Isn't that the worst storyline you've ever heard in your life?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you didn't know John Cena was like kind of a, your time is up. My time is now.
I just
You can't see me. My time is now.
It was the 90s or whatever, and you wore jorts.
You know, he like, and then he did like a Slim Shady
I thought
thing.
he was just a big Kevin Smith fan.
So he was originally like an Eminem parody.
Oh, crazy.
Like white rap was big at that
Crazy.
time. They had him at OVW. They had him come into WWE. His original debut, he was just in like biker trunks and was like John Cena, and he was doing like a fake robot character for a minute. And then they changed him into this like attitude white rapper who was like a real deal hip hop guy. And he was like a punk, like he would do raps and roast everybody and be like, you're a punk ass bitch. It was a little homophobic, which I think is like every guy who does bodybuilding has to be slightly homophobic because look how fucking gay your activities are. You're trying to sculpt your chest. That's the gayest shit I've ever heard in my life. Go do a bicep curl. Have you ever met one woman who's like, look how big his muscles are? Maybe one. And maybe they're scripted to say it on Love Island. But straight up, like, you want to talk about doing something for the boys? Go to the gym. You fucking, I'm not going to say it. It was in my throat to say. I got to pick my moments on when I drop those. But you could feel it in my throat. So, you know, like when he's like, oh, you sucking dick. And you're like, yeah, you got to get that out of your system because you're fucking 6 days a week. Like, you want to repetitively make our bodies bigger and pick it up and show off our flex nipples? Like bodybuilding, that's pretty gay. So yeah, John Cena, pretty interesting run. We are on the Patreon going to be getting into the WWE films very shortly. We should be finishing up with Final Destination. It's going to be
an education because there's still so much of wrestling. I'm watching a video right now of him performing, and this is really blowing my mind.
Like, here's the thing: I can't have
this. It's just Marky Mark on roids.
It is Marky Mark on roids for sure, but with a little more pizzazz. I think I just figured out conceptually how we do the WWE run, and you're not going to like the way we put it together. Because I think instead of doing live watch-alongs of each film, it would take too long. I think I make you watch a full series at a time, and then we do an in-depth of the series of each one. Because there's multiples. There'll be singles that we can single together. But I'm saying you should watch Marine 1 through 6, and we should have a 2-hour discussion. People chime in on the Patreon. Let us know what you think, because this is coming for you on our next film series and how we do it. I want to make the most use of your time, and I want to make the most use of our time, and I want to force WWE lore on Petár. And this is another problem with mainstream wrestling, with it becoming an impression of wrestling. Everything is referential to wrestling in a way where if you're not 100 degrees in on everything that's going on, they're doing stuff that you wouldn't really comprehend. But also Vince has changed that in a lot of years where he's like, I guess he's not there anymore because he's also on the Epstein list or something, probably. I don't know. I'm reading rumors and innuendo that people just can't remember 7 years ago is his rule, which I think goes to like your cells are constantly reproducing at that rate. But wrestling fans, prove that wrong now because they constantly want to be reminded of these little things from like 20 years ago that was going on. You know, shout out Edge and Christian for getting the money they're getting. But the fact that on regular television right now, the mid-50s Christian and Edge are still like a drawing attraction lets you know that the wrestling fans are in too fucking deep. Sorry. The Edge and Christian TLC ladder match happened that long ago. This isn't against them. Like, keep doing it. If they're paying you, boys, keep working. But wrestling fans are fully remembering way more than 7 years. And so then me being surprised by hearing I didn't know John Cena was a white rapper, I'm going, holy shit, we're so in the hole over here with our knowledge that someone has to help us get out of it. I shout out all wrestling fans who know everything. I love you. That's great. But also how do we move forward? How do we continue forward without referencing things that, yeah, John Cena brought back his old theme music at SummerSlam to reveal that he wasn't a bad boy anymore, which was originally his bad boy music. I guess he had different. Well, he changed it. It still had the same intro with the and then Brapple Do. You know about Brapple Do?
No.
Because the producer of the song goes Brapple Do, but it's like a different song. It's like a famous producer who did his theme song, but he's rapping on it, I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's a fascinating time. You know the history of The Miz, though, right? So that's like, you're ahead. But that was like he came from mainstream and then went niche. He's like, I'm on a mainstream MTV show. I wonder how niche I can make my career. And now he's kind of expanding back out into like reality TV. I say this as the most niche person of them all. Like everybody's like, Effy talking shit. And it's like, look at my life. Okay. We're good. Like I love being a performer. I love being a blue collar entertainer. One of the few things that are left in this world, being a hardworking individual. Me saying something about like wrestling fans are too deep if they're still seeking out Edge and Christian is not a slight to Edge and Christian or a slight to wrestling fans. It's me going, I'm trying to figure out where this industry is understandably going. I'm trying to figure out where consumption of wrestling goes. And in my head, I'm starting to go, these ideas you have of moving wrestling forward seem anti-financial to what's actually going on out there. And you should just continue running nostalgia acts and become one yourself. Become a meme. You know? People are just finding out I wrestle. I think about how much I've had to put my body through to get to this point, and people are like, damn, man, he wrestles? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Whoa. I used to joke, like, I want to get to a point in my career where people show up to look at me and then they're surprised I'm doing anything else. And now, I wish that wasn't a joke because how cool would that be to just like become a meme of yourself? I'm not saying that it's good content. I'm not saying that it's exceptional art. I'm not saying I could even live with doing that. Just like much like in the film with Al Pacino. What's it called? It doesn't matter. Where he's a aging Rod Stewart type
Jack
pop
and
star.
Jill?
Oh, Don Pacino. I don't know. There's some stinkers in the Pacino filmography that are allowed because he's such a good actor.
A stinkachino.
It's a stinkachino.
I think he won an Oscar for one of those stinkers.
Which one?
Scent of a Woman?
Yeah, but he's pretty crazy in that one.
Yeah.
He's in his vibe. Wait, what was I saying about Pacino?
He's got some stinkers.
Everybody has some I'm saying like I am proud of the work I've done, and I'm proud of everyone supporting me, and I'm as authentic and raw, I believe, as you can get. Peter can attest, but you can say he's a paid secret underground agent, and that as soon as this stops recording, I'm actually harassing you go take those little chickens and walk them. You better do my laundry, Peter. Imagine, that'd be crazy. But I'm saying that like, in this late stage capitalist life where everything is about to end and return us to the caves of yore and having to hunt and gather, I'm ready to cash in a little bit. It'd be nice. I'd like to do just let me do meme matches of nostalgia. I think about how many different matches I've had, and then I think about some wrestlers who've made, like Hulk Hogan, for instance, he had like half a match his whole career, and then sometimes would have to have a whole match, and made so much more money than us, and was racist, and helped elect Donald Trump. And I'm going like, I'm correct in being a good person, but like, damn, he did have his own sauna in the basement. It's a hard reality, understanding that caring about your art and making art that matters and not going against your own personal moral convictions is not ever going to be the way to mega stardom or financial backing. But also listen, we've had people that have been Effy supporters for 10 years, and that's not by accident. That doesn't happen by just like jumping on the latest trend and fad and throwing people under the bus. So I don't know. I think, there's this guy or girl, I don't really know, Aesop, who had all these fables. One of them, and this is crazy because, you see rabbits running through the yard. They're like, what if we raced a turtle and a hare? And I don't think I'm the turtle. I think I'm the hare, but I think I'm fast, but I also am fast in a way that's so ADD that I keep just like going around. But I have the fortitude and the continued movement forward of the turtle, where, you know what? Sometimes we're just out here and you go, it's hard. It's hopeless here, and it's rough, and people are being treated poorly. How can I keep going to my job where I'm just a silly boy without saying something, without using my platform for some other reason, without speaking out against things that I don't think look good or things that I don't like? And you know what? Maybe I'm a tortoise in that regard, but I'll tell you what, spoiler alert. You ever seen Aesop in that fable? The fucking turtle wins, dude. The fucking turtle wins because he stuck to his truth. And genetically, they're just like, they can only go one direction, and I'm only going that direction. And I think that's fun. I think that's great. Aesop's Fables. Wait, are you looking up the tortoise and the hare?
Yeah, because I don't think that's how that story goes.
Yeah, the turtle wins. Ambiguous story? Why is it saying this is ambiguous? Don't fuck up the turtle and the hare for me. This is, oh no. Who was Aesop? Who did they vote for?
Okay, let's...
Who did Aesop vote for before I open this book up?
Okay, it was a slave and a storyteller who lived in ancient Greece between 620 and 564 BCE. Part of an oral tradition and not collected into. So this is probably just a catch-all for a bunch of stories that were being told.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, Aesop told that story," and that was just like that was their Bible before. they figured out they could take donations.
How the Bible was put together as well. It's just
if you just put out all the tales at once and they're all good, how do you continue collecting money on that? You know what I mean? That's why Aesop's Fables isn't the Bible, because you can't keep collecting.
So there's a different version of the story where the tortoise slowly reaches the race, but the hare realizes the stupidity of races in the first places and refuses to participate, and is therefore the clear winner for using trickery to win the race.
All right, so I'm still a little of both, you know? I'm running my own race. Keep up with it. Yeah, that's, I do want to say this. I spoke to a few, did we talk about this already? I was talking about it last night on the Twitch stream, but I'm obviously going to bring it up again because there's more of you listening to this than were on the stream last night. It's so lovely to hear from all the TV wrestlers how much they've enjoyed some of my matches. Because the thing is, I understand, like if I was signed to AEW right now or WWE right now, I probably wouldn't be bringing me up. There's a few choice people who are not huge fans of Effy at this moment.
Right.
And I was on the phone with another guy today who, shout out Kayfabe Cardboard, but he was like, so-and-so had some things to say about you. And I said, well, what do they have to say? They said, oh, well, you like, when they were being accused of doing inappropriate things, you like said, I don't want to work with them because they're accused of doing inappropriate things. And it's not that they said whether the inappropriate things were true or not. I'm also going to make the decision of like, well, yeah, I'm not going to go around that. If that's the vibe, I'm not going to go around that. That vibe doesn't work for me as a person and as a business person. If I'm a person who's not involved in these things that are scary, I don't want to be around you. And to hear that like this person after 5 years was still holding contention for me because I was like, yeah, if you're up to no good, I don't want to be a part of that, which I've consistently done my whole career. And for them to still be mad, I'm going, are you mad at me, or are you mad because I'm right and I could fuck up what you got going on? Because sorry, I don't want to work with those people. That's not how I am. That's not what I'm about. You know, I believe truly in art and entertainment being without any limit or line to be crossed. I think you can cross any line in the art. I also believe in consent with everyone I'm in the ring with, and the people I'm having problems with there's not things they're doing in the match where I'm like, that's disgusting. I mean, once again, I wouldn't pull my soft wiener out and put a syringe in it at a hardcore show, but to each their own. Make sure there's not kids there. The problem is behavior outside of the ring that I go, no one's good enough at pretend fighting to be allowed to do things to other people against their will or be allowed to act in such a way that's that inappropriate. People will try to point out like, well, you do sexual things in the ring. And I go, I do entertaining bits amongst consensual performers that are most of the time little magic tricks. Like when I got stapled through my trunks, that was not, I wasn't, you know what I mean? We're doing a trick. I got paper cut through my trunks one time where he's just like opens them and paper cuts up, and guess what? It was a bit. We're doing a bit, and it was between two people who discussed it, and I would much rather have a fake paper cut hit me than have to fall on my neck 35 times. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm glad you have a problem with me if what I'm saying is shit that I wouldn't buckle for, whether that's the way you run your business, whether that's the way you treat your employees, whether that's the way you present things, as a company to, vulnerable minority groups in terrible ways. Whatever that may be, that's usually the problem. It's not, I'm not just being mean to people to stop them from being a part of things. If I have a problem with you, it's probably warranted, and you're probably mad because it's probably true. Also, people get confused that like, I haven't thought about this person in as long as since I probably said I wouldn't work with them then. And it's very much like people don't understand too. And I think you can attest to this a little more. People don't understand, once I say my strong opinion out loud and what I would do to change it or what I have a problem with or what the issue is, I have no real emotional or personal connection to it anymore. Like I just have to, like if I see a problem, I go like, that's a problem and here's what I would do differently. And then people are like, what? Oh, and then they bring it up and I go, oh, I have no emotional connection to that. And they're like, you just said that thing. And I go, yeah, I said it. It's done. I had to say something. I can't keep those thoughts in, but I also don't care anymore once I've said it. I just need people to at least go like, oh yeah, I there's at least a stance there that I know he's not with that. And I don't think about it anymore. I don't wake up thinking about any of the problems, in wrestling. They come up because I'm having discussions about the industry I work in, which I don't know if you know this, Peter. it's all interconnected. So when wrestling's making good decisions and doing good things, independent wrestling is also making good decisions and doing good things. It's all connected. I'm not just selfish. I'm selfish in the sense that I need people to be on their behavior and do proper business and do things correctly, because it allows me to then have a platform to do more things. But it's like when you're going back and talking about at the beginning of COVID, when the speaking out movement was happening, when people were speaking up, it was probably good that a lot of fans said, we're not going to support wrestling right now. We're not going to be a part of it, because we should hold ourselves always to those standards. And, you know, if you want to try to tear me down because I said something that you disagree with, that's awesome, because it probably means that I hit a nerve. I struck a nerve. Struck a little nerve. You think I strike a few too many nerves?
I don't know. I don't think it's I don't really think it's on you if you start like if those are other people's nerves that are being struck. They are allowing those nerves to get. It's the thing that people don't like about when you do that is that you're not there. Like there is no. They feel the need to take responsibility. They feel the need to do something about the thing that you're saying instead of just sitting with because what you're good at doing is scrubbing so the dirt comes up. People don't like things to be dirty. They don't like obvious, this is not how things should be.
Right.
But
they're very good at sweeping over a little,
yeah,
so
exactly.
that it doesn't come
and
up.
So they feel that you're saying that they're dirty, even though they may not have anything to do with it to begin with.
Right.
Which is the way that you're emotionally dealing with it is much healthier than the way that they're emotionally dealing with it, because they're getting that and that's all emotion based. It's not like, oh, actually that is something that needs to be solved. Maybe this is something we can work towards and build, or even just having the ability to sit within a situation and go, man, that's fucked up, and I really don't see a way out of it. We can just appreciate the fact that that is the way that it is, and not try and shift.
We at least pointed it out.
We at least pointed it out.
It's something I realized very early on. Like, I want to say it was like right at the end of high school or when I got to college, where I would not ask a question, and then I would realize other people weren't asking it not because they already knew, but because they just weren't asking things. Like, I just assume maybe I don't know something, and if I'm asking it, you know, they already knew, or they don't know, or we shouldn't ask this. But I just sort of stopped second guessing any questions I have. If I have a question, I'm going to ask it, and it might make you mad. But also, like, what a strange time to be in, and what a strange time for me to be entering wrestling, where, like, to have empathy towards the businesses and the people running them. It is kind of incredibly funny that someone who has never been signed to a company or been on a TV wrestling show or been under any kind of exclusive contract, whatever you believe about my ties with GCW, I'm not under any exclusive contract anywhere, even as the champion, even as a consistently booked featured star, which is a great thing for both of us because we can do whatever we need to do. To have someone who can just sit here and put up a camera and talk to their roommate and possibly cause duress to your business because they are leaking information. And then to realize that this is where it gets dangerous and where I have to be very careful. And there's so much stuff I've never said, not that I'm hiding anyone's bad secrets, but just like, it's not my place or it's not whatever. People come to me now because they know my mouth is open and they know I don't like these things, and they will fill me in with stuff. So the more that y'all are getting mad and bringing attention to me talking about things that I'm not supposed to talk about, or messing you up or making you mad because you fucked up, and I'm not for the boys. I'm sharing that you probably shouldn't be in a locker room with people, or like you should not run your business this way. It is kind of crazy to like, I'm not like a muckraking journalist by any means, but I exist in this world where everyone knows me. Not everyone wants to say it out loud. Not everyone wants to reveal their full connection to how much they're around me or how much I've been vital to helping them. And that's fine, because the moment we stop wrestling, that's when everybody's really in trouble. Imagine if I had not 17 matches a month or whatever, and just was like, let me just jump in and see if I can do some shit on my own. I've really been itching to run here in Atlanta and run a show at least and see what happens. So maybe we'll move towards doing that. I probably would still wrestle on the show because I am, you know, as a business decision, it makes sense to have Effy wrestle on your show. I gotta stand by my own fucking truth. But I hope that as the independent world becomes more distributed on its own. And I've seen this. There's a lot more companies running. There's a lot more ways to watch wrestling. There's a lot more wrestling to watch. That the impacts short term that me being a person who is loud about things I don't like or things I disagree with will cost me some money. It has already. It's cost me plenty of money to be correct and to speak out on things or to say things that, like I said, I disagree with. But in the long term, I think, I'll put it to you this way. I don't know how to say this without sounding, this is where I'm going to sound really crazy at the end of the episode. Like I said, it's like, I look at wrestling and when it's healthy and good, it's very beneficial to me. And I tried to explain this to someone the other day and I can tell that it came off wrong. There's no way that it doesn't come off wrong, but I speak to everyone from ring help to volunteers, to merch people, to snack people, to wrestlers, to people working production, to people working as referees, whatever your job is there. I'm speaking to you as if you're already my employee. And I don't mean that in a way where I want to be everyone's boss or I want to be the problem, but I want to check the health of everything top to bottom that's going on at a wrestling show or in a wrestling business or what's happening, because that's the only way to get ahead of things as a public relations professional, to stop problems from happening or stop problems from exacerbating, or to get to something before it becomes, a problem that's outside of being fixable or outside of being better. Or, you can go, it's like my boots right now. I need to go buy new boots, right? I went to the cobbler because I was like, I'll just get them cobbled. But I had worn the boots out so much that they said, we can't even do a cover on this. You got to get new boots. So if you wait too long, you just got to wear your shitty boots and there's no hope until you buy new boots. But if I would have just gone in and dealt with the problem when I was at match 200 in these boots and I noticed they were wearing down, I could have spent $80, $50 and gotten them resold. So not to go big brain on everybody, but like, it's bigger than me showing up and getting booked for a match. The longevity of Effy is beyond just being, oh, he's here and he's wrestling and he's booked to wrestle. For that to happen and consistently stay in this position, I don't know a lot of indie wrestlers that have stayed on indie wrestling that long and consistently paid their bills. It's a new kind of weird frontier that we're in. And so I want to attack it in a way where I have built enough stability around me in the world of wrestling that I can continue to be at shows that are not going to be run into the ground by some, snakes or something, I don't know. I'm very excited about the future of it, but it's also like, you have to have, like last week, end of that fucking retrograde, I'm just kind of sitting there thinking like, it's sort of hopeless, right? Like they're just going to let, people with cases, as they put them, people with weird charges back in on TV. They're just going to go to the White House and promote people who are trying to take my marriage rights, who are trying to, take people down. You got to support, like, they don't like you. They want your money and they're greedy and they don't like you, and they will continue taking Saudi Arabian WrestleMania money, which whatever, I don't know. Maybe Saudi Arabia is changing. I'm not over there, but it's not a place I'm going to go right now. You kind of look at it and you're like, what are we supposed to do? Like top to bottom, not just wrestling, like what are we supposed to do? And I needed to sit in it and be rested and go, okay, get your fucking feet under you, literally and metaphorically, and let's buckle back in. Because what are you going to do? You're going to go work at Chili's? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I'd be showing up to my shifts asking if you want more ranch, thinking maybe if you weren't a fucking loser, you would have kept trying and fixed some shit. But it is hard when you're like reliant on this thing where I have to be working and also thinking bigger about how this is even going to work going forward and adjusting to it. It's crazy. One day they'll pay me a lot of money to go to businesses and talk to them because I'm choosing to attack economics at a level that they couldn't even comprehend. Like, I'm not telling you like, oh, it's running a small business from a different thing. When global shifts in the economies happen, there are places that feel it first, and I've figured that out, and I've figured out how to adjust to them. And they say like the strippers are going to know, and I'm telling you, I'm as close to a stripper as you're going to get, and I'm going to know. But I'm the stripper going around to all the strip clubs going, can we make sure things are going to be good here in a year or two? Because I'm still going to be stripping, and I'm still going to be going around, and people still want to come see me. And the lap dances are more expensive at the strip club than from me. I got to be honest. I'll run a deal. Put a 20 in the panties, darling. We're having a good time. Yeah, I told you, we got to get into some things sometimes. It's good. It's vital. Get on the Patreon. Give me some fucking money. That's as I'm sitting here going, we have to help. We have to fix it. This is when you get the collection bucket passed around. Mm-hmm. Add a little to the collection bucket. I don't care if that means, supporting us in other ways, doing other things. We're going to work on some new merch. We're working on some visual updates for everything. We're adding more content all the time, and we are over here brainstorming. So brainstorm with us. I'm not a person who's opposed to hearing your visions. What would you like to see more of? What would you like to do more of? Patreon people, weekendateffys.com if you're not there yet. Check it out. But I will put over the Substack again. I don't think it gets enough love. If you want to hear everything going on in one place for free, weekendateffys.substack.com. I know I'm actively saying, please subscribe, please, pay up, give us money. I have to. You have to advertise these things, but also participation goes a long way. Retweeting things, putting things out, seeing stuff, it helps a lot. And, we're going to be fighting an uphill battle for the next decade. But I think at the end of it, I'm going to be happy I fought the battle rather than bending and just falling in line to make it work. Tell you what. Being on TV ain't what it used to be, I'll tell you that. I seen the Effy lines at these places, and you TV stars, you got to start bringing something to the table because they don't know you, and they weren't watching. And you got an ego, brother. Fix it. Is that a weird way to end?
No.
All right, Zach.